Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. We're here at Fastlab Utv in Orange, California. We have Harley, Colin, and Jim. They invited me out here to show off some of their products. One of them specifically caught my eye. It's on the thumbnail, you guys already saw it. And it's an issue that a lot of X3 owners face. And not even when you crash the car. You could just be riding and hit something really hard and your fan shroud will break. And that's one of the products that they have right over on the bench. We'll show you guys that in just a second. Fastlab Utv, caught my eye on Instagram. Really cool, they invited me out here and I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys for inviting me.
Coming in.
So they got a lot of cool products besides this. They have this molly plate, which we'll get into in just a second. Really cool for hanging accessories. They're also doing some stuff with bumpers for the YXZ and for the X3 from Can-Am. And also they're welding up some cages too. So if you guys are interested in any kind of work like that, as cage installs, and you guys do, I'm sure, a bunch of other performance related products and just reinforcing suspension, I'm sure.
We'll do any custom builds for people. A lot of times we'll do custom design for roof racks and tire carriers, and any way that you want to put something together and have a lot of design features in it. That's kind of where we stand out, is we like to put a lot of work into really good design on our products.
Yeah, and it shows. The fan shroud and then this molly plate, the engineering behind it, they're actually designing their own stuff. They're not just copying anybody else. They're making their own stuff, and the products are gonna speak for themselves. So how'd you guys start? You guys told me e-commerce, you guys selling stuff online?
Yeah, so we started during pretty much the pandemic, like a lot of people. We had a few ideas in terms of parts and stuff that we wanted to offer for the YXZ, which we kind of felt was an underserved market in terms of like the offerings. So we had some ideas for a market that just really didn't have good product. So that's kind of where we focused our ideas and came together and started the business.
So start off with the YXZ, couple products there.
Yep.
Yeah, try to get some products designed and manufactured and overcome all the challenges that you go through in the early design phases. And basically we started there, and now we're branching out and trying to get into all the major platforms, and right now doing the X3 stuff, and that's kind of where you see some of the creative product we're trying to come out with.
Let's talk about a little bit about that fan shroud. I think that's, I want to get down to the meat and potatoes here. That's probably the nicest product because you guys already have powder coat and everything. You guys can show off a little bit. So if you guys don't know, and I'll let Colin speak about it in just a second. The fan shrouds on the Can-Am X3, and we'll look at this one real quick. Oh, this one already has a replace, but the fan shrouds usually break in the upper area where they attach to the shock tower brace. All right, Colin's gonna show us what we typically see.
So yeah, we see like a lot of cracking at the top often, is a lot of times where it breaks first, and then after that you'll get some of the ribs down low that start breaking. Even some of the tabs at the bottom, occasionally they'll break off if there's some serious impact. But basically you can see how tweaked this radiator is. Not sure how it comes off on camera, but basically this whole radiator is even bent from the fan shroud just being damaged. So then you see what we did is essentially tying the whole bulkhead up to the top shock tower is just plastic. So you can see some photos out there where the front end is just wide open. So that's where we decided, instead of having a plastic piece, why not make a structural piece that actually physically braces the whole front end. That's why we kind of run ribs all the way down this thing. It's because that really gives it the structure where it won't flex at all. So you're essentially tying the bottom now all the way up to the shock tower with a steel structural component.
Well, that's cool because they also skeletonized it. They put a lot of what I would call speed holes.
Hey, what are all these holes?
These are speed holes to make the car go fast.
That makes it pretty much not as heavy as you would think. So I initially thought it was gonna be a lot heavier. It's not. But it's gonna add a lot of rigidity to the machine. And obviously, you guys out there, I'm sure, who have had this issue with the fan shroud breaks, you guys replace not just the fan shroud, but the whole fan, because you can't buy it separately. And you buy that, you replace it, and then 3 rides from now, you're riding hard again, and it breaks again. And you're gonna be, digging into the piggy bank once again. So why not just buy a piece that's gonna pretty much prevent that from happening, and just keep riding. So because that's not only a problem with it breaking, but it potentially the radiator gets damaged as well, because once this breaks and it twists, the radiator twists with it.
Yeah, that's right. The radiator is just mounted. Basically that fan shroud is just a radiator holder, more or less.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get something that's going to protect your radiator as well.
They do give you new hardware to attach your old fan motor and blade assembly to your new shroud, the steel one here that they make at Fastlab, and let's show them the 3D printed tabs that you guys make.
Yeah, so one of the challenges we had was how the headlights mount to the edge of the stock fan shroud on this corner tab. So one of the challenges was how do we get that compound angle? So basically what we do is we kind of come up with a 3D printed piece, allows us to quickly do revisions on and make sure we get that angle just right so that your lights still aim where they need to. So when you pull it apart, you'll see there's a little adjuster tab in this area. So this just fits straight on, so you don't have to do any modifications to the headlights or anything. It just bolts on just the same way it did on the stock component.
Another thing we're talking about is aftermarket radiators, and apparently they should bolt up.
Yeah, so like all the, you have the CBR radiators and stuff, so if they can accept the OEM fan shroud, it'll obviously accept our, Fastlab fan shroud as well.
Yeah, so if you have aftermarket radiator, shouldn't worry, it should bolt up. The other thing we're talking about is shock tower braces. For the most part, most of them are gonna work. If you do have one and you wanna call the shop and maybe ask, they could probably give you a good idea if it's gonna work or not.
Yeah, so one thing we include in our hardware bag as well is a bunch of rubber washers. And the reason we do that is for vibration isolation, but also for any adjustments you may need to make. Like they'll run them along the back, because you can see on the stock component where they have these rubber standoffs here. So really it's to make up any differences. You see maybe your bulkhead's already tweaked a little and you need to adjust it slightly. So we include 10 rubber washers in there, typically more than the average person needs, but we want to give you room for adjustment there if required.
And that's good because the bulkheads on the X3s are paper thin, trash.
Yeah, yep.
So let's go over some of the colors that they offer, and I'm sure they could offer multiple colors that you guys might want to ask for, especially OEM colors. But these are the ones that they have here to showcase. You got orange for the XRCs. This I'm sure is the Can-Am red.
Correct. And
then you guys have the Iron Man gold, I would call it, and that's the octane blue, I believe, right?
Octane blue here.
So a bunch of different colors, which is nice that they offer that, because you don't have to worry about painting it or powder coating it. You can pretty much bolt it up and you got yourself a reinforced piece.
Yeah, some people are worried about the colors, so we like the bright colors because this piece is kind of hidden, so it's almost just like a little accent when you look in there. So some people don't want too much color in the front end, but really installed, as you saw when you're looking at the front end of our shop car, it's not destroying your whole look of your vehicle.
Yeah, let's check that out. So for example, if you guys have an XRC and you guys think the blue is going to be too much because the car already has a lot of blue on the frame, it really isn't. You could barely see it here over the hood of the car, and then at the bottom here you could barely see it. It really doesn't stand out a whole bunch, but
it's a nice cool little accent.
It's a nice little cool accent, like you said. So
yeah.
Another quick product that I want to showcase to you guys is their molly plates, which are awesome for adding extra fuel, adding a fire extinguisher, a first aid kit like they have on this one. I think it's a good idea, and Colin's gonna talk about it.
Yeah, so we always look for ways to store things in areas that are not used. So a lot of times on the C-pillars, and it could go on anywhere, but on C-pillars, often on Razors and X3s and Yamahas, pretty much any UTV, is just kind of a blank area. There's no use. So we came up with these. That's a universal plate. So on the far side, you'll see the Rotopacks mounted. So there's 4 different configurations for the Rotopacks mount to go onto this plate.
So that's like built into it already?
Yeah, it's built into it. So it's all ready to go. And there's like 3 or 4 different configurations. You can lay it out how you want.
Okay.
So you can turn those sideways to make more storage on the bottom, or on that way with the 2-gallon on the bottom, 1 gallon on top. That takes up most of the plate, a little room on the bottom for something else. If
Definitely
you want to
nice.
mount it. Yeah, so there's different examples. These are quick fists you can mount onto the holes. Just some straps onto here. Of course, the My Medic first aid kits that we sell. And then even on another package we can show on the YXZ, we bolt on a Pelican box to store tools or cameras or whatever it is that you want to keep safe in the whole foam packaging on the Pelican box.
So this is a good option. One thing I want to know is these are pretty much universal. They probably fit on other vehicles because they're 1 3/4 tube clamps, right?
Correct, yeah. So the ones we make right now are 1 3/4 tube clamps. So any 1 3/4 tube that is exposed, you can mount to.
And it's pretty simple to install. Just 1 tube clamp and it holds everything in place. So if you guys are interested in an option like this, make sure to visit their website at FastLabUtv.com?
That's correct.
So FastLabUtv.com, besides the products that they're designing, making, and selling on their website, they also offer a bunch of other products.
Yeah, we have a full range for whatever you need. The whips, the weld it yourself cages, Razorback temp cages, pretty much everything you need for a good build. Also, we have Raceline wheels that typically we customize. So that's kind of where you see these flashy colors is when we do full builds, we like to customize them, but we're also a Raceline dealer, Aerosol tires as well. So pretty much a full range. Go ahead and check out the website and see what else we got. They also offer Simpson harnesses and seats, and they can pretty much customize your vehicle if you're in the area. So support your local, you know, I won't call this a mom and pop shop. These are young guys here, but definitely they are, you know, a small shop, but they're getting bigger and they're making some badass products. And obviously, as you can see from their personal, you know, what we call this, a show vehicle maybe, they got a lot of good taste when it comes to combining parts together, and they could do that for your ride. All right, so now we have Jim. He's gonna mention something they do for customers. It's pretty much designing parts as well.
Yeah, so we do design and prototyping. So if you come in and you want a part that doesn't exist, we will basically all get together, whiteboard it, figure out how it works, problem solve on your vehicle, and put it into CAD, SolidWorks, send it out for a custom one-off, whatever you can think of that you need. For example, we had a YXZ come in with cage, and they wanted a custom roof rack that did not exist, so we got together and put together the design for it and had it made, lasered, and yeah. So
they incorporated a solution that didn't really exist. So I think that's pretty cool. They'll prototype it, they'll show you guys a proof of concept, and you guys can have a one-off custom piece for your rig, which is really nice.
So part of also what we offer, if you bring your vehicle in here for a build, one of our main ideas for the shop was we wanted to have a studio space. So we wanted to be able to shoot photography of all the vehicles that we have in here in a kind of controlled space, lighting and everything. So you bring your car in, we'll do the build, and we will do a photo session of it. We have backdrops that we can do studio lighting. So yeah, that's all just part of the full package. We just want to offer something different than all the shops that are out there.
That is really awesome, and I want to show you guys, and I'll put the pictures on the screen, some really cool pictures that they actually do here in the shop. Like you were saying, you turn off all the lights, they put the car front and center, and they take some amazing photos, and I might have to ask them one day to do mine too. So really cool, you guys check those out. So this is Fastlab UTV's proper and own spare tire carrier that they manufacture here at their shop, and really nice. I like that it doesn't take away your bed space, which is a big deal for a lot of guys out there. And they are developing one for the X3 potentially, correct?
Yes, yeah, we should have it ready in the next couple of weeks. It is going on the car you're sitting on right now.
Oh, the one without a roof?
The one without a roof right now. So he's getting a cage, spare tire carrier. Yeah, it'll attach similarly. Cantilever off the back of the car, just like this one. And kind of carry that same design style from one car to the next.
Right, very similar design, so. Really cool that they're doing that. I mean, a lot of people aren't designing their own stuff. You see a lot of shops out there popping up, and they're pretty much just installing other companies' parts, which is fine and great, but these guys are pushing and striving forward with their own stuff. And if you guys don't mind, you guys got a freaking whiteboard here, literally with their plans, product development, what they're reordering, keeping stuff in stock. They are super organized, and to me, because I'm kind of I'm a weirdo like that. I like to see people organize their stuff. They keep their shop clean, unless they cleaned it right before I got here. Maybe, potentially. No.
We usually have to eat off the floor. I don't know. You
see yeah, they got OCD like I do. It's okay. But like I said, the shop's really clean. They're super organized, and that leads to good products. And you know, it's obviously there. The proof is in the concept there.
Do you guys offer?
Who invited you?
No, I'm.
Who invited you? Freaking Big Bear.
Well, we've talked to like Bombshell Gear, and I think the other company's called Rig. Yeah, Rig Gear. And so we have a couple different, like even Simpson. Again, it's hard to kind of like show people all the possibilities, because like right now, like this YXZ and the X3 are set up to how we ride, and how we ride is going to be different than how you guys ride. So what you want to carry might be different.
In the future for your guys' channel, you guys should do a video, all the options that you guys know of that kind of fit.
We did like
a stop motion that just showed all the different configurations that you could put on this plate. I mean, we took a lot of it kind of influence from the Overland scene.
Yeah, like this is the typical first aid kit we sell that attach like this, right? And there's lots of bags that attach that go through the straps.
Yeah, the options are, I don't want to say limitless, but like when you look at these two cars,
pretty
they're
broad.
very differently. It's very broad. And you know, like Jim was saying, we kind of are looking at the overland community as, well, I mean, granted, a lot of those guys carry way more stuff than they need. But with these cars, you know, if you're trying to get set up for a 200-mile ride, it's kind of difficult, especially when, you know, fuel's limited and then storage is always limited. You start throwing on a couple Rotopacks and you really, all of a sudden, all your storage space for a full day ride is drastically reduced. So,
especially these two models, the bed is very minimal.
Very small to begin with. And then, you know, if you, like for the Can-Am, right, you have all the BRP linked systems, which are great, but it's only, again, for a very specific purpose. You know, just having a big box in the back of your car doesn't really, you know, help you organize for a trip. So if you're trying to take spare parts or fuel or camping gear or food, you know, it's kind of like they force you to choose one or the other, not both. And our goal is to let you do whatever you want. You know, like we said, we have the roof rack that is coming out for this car. We are aiming for a bolt-on option for these cages that we offer. And you know, for the future, we're gonna start trying to do that with every single model that comes in here, is really expanding the bolt-on options, really expanding what you can do with these cars. And
a lot of times with at least in my experience in the UTV market, is the lack of bolt-on options. So let's just say you don't want your cage fully integrated into a bigger system, or you don't want whatever you have to be permanent. You may want to change it up, or you may want to be able to remove it easily to access certain things. So I think just having that versatility of it being a bolt-on product just makes it a lot easier for one, installation. You know, we kind of want to make our products as easy as possible for just every owner to install without having to have a shop set up where you have to cut, potentially you have to fabricate parts, you have to modify in a big way.
There's all kinds of riders, right? Like there's the Glamis group where you're going out for a couple hours and you're stopping for, you know, a beer break every hour or so.
Allegedly.
Okay. Remember the rules for drinking and driving.
And then, you know, then there's the more adventure, you know, they're going these like the Calico state line runs that those guys are doing that are a couple hundred miles. And, you know, trying to set these up, like, I think what attracted me to all this stuff was I go to Mexico a lot, and I was like, man, one day I would love to do the Peninsula run in this car. And so many people take their UTVs down the Baja coast, and you know, I don't want to have to rely on getting into a town every single time, and not just obviously, you know, going out of the country, but you know, anywhere. Is having to like really map out your ride is kind of a pain when you're so limited on what you can carry. So again, it's kind of going back to that overland thing of like carry more than you need. That, you know, it's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it.
So Fastlab Utv, if you're in the area, Orange, California, definitely check them out. They can do a full build for your X3, YXZ, and they may even touch into other vehicles. But definitely a badass shop. They're up and coming. I want to say thank you to Harley, Colin, and Jim. And yeah, man, you guys are making some badass products, and I appreciate you guys for taking the time to show me around.
Yeah,
coming down.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you. Thank you.
So visit their website, fastlabutv.com. Give them a look, and definitely check out that fan shroud if you have an X3 before yours breaks.